Hey, I'm Mark. Let's go, let's go. A lot to do today. What? Yeah. Tell me something. Where are you from? Is that where you were born? Did they change the law or can cousins still marry there? Hey, sit down, close the door. I don't want people to know what's going on in here. Why? Because I'm a history teacher and I'm about to go rogue. Gavrilo Princip just wanted a sandwich, and he ended up sparking the most devastating war that humanity had ever seen up to that point in history. As the major European powers were imperializing all around the world, the Austrian Empire was left out of the action. It had been defeated by Prussia in 1866 and lost its influence over the German states. Over the next 5 years, Austria watched as the rest of the German states joined Prussia and then proclaimed the German Empire in 1871. Not wanting to lose its place at the table of the great powers, Austria sought its own empire, not by taking territory overseas, but by grabbing regions nearby. Checked by the Germans to the north and by the Russians to the east, the Austrians looked to the south. Otto von Bismarck noted that the Ottoman Empire was the sick man of Europe and that the Europeans ought to get together and decide how to split up the inheritance. Austria got the lion's share. As the Ottoman Empire shrunk backwards towards the Bosporus, Austria moved in with the same speed southward. And before Slovenia, Croatia, or Bosnia could declare independence from the Ottomans, the Austrians moved in and set up their own colonial governments. One country that got its independence was Serbia. When the Kingdom of Serbia gained independence from the Ottomans in 1882, Austria recognized the new government of the pro-Austrian monarchy. But in 1903, King Alexander I Obrenović and his wife Queen Draga were assassinated by a pan-Slavic group known as the Black Hand. The conspirators installed a new dynasty, the House of Karađorđević, which was anti-Austrian and friendly towards Russia. Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, and Serbia, all Slavic-speaking nations. Serbia believed that it was the duty during the era of nationalism to unite these territories into one united Slavic state, Yugoslavia. To this end, the Serbs began a freedom-fighting campaign against Austrian targets in the other Slavic territories. Keep in mind that one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. This is a statue of Gavrilo Princip in Sarajevo, the guy that shot Francis Ferdinand. Why would someone put up a statue of him? Is there a statue of George Washington in London? I digress. The Black Hand took the lead in the anti-Austrian activities. This would all come to a head in the Bosnian capital, the city of Sarajevo. In an effort to quash the Slavic nationalism beginning to simmer in the south of its empire, the Austrian monarchy decided to send heir to the throne, Archduke Francis Ferdinand, and his wife, Sophia, to Sarajevo on a state visit, a situation which the Black Hand took great interest. A team was dispatched to Sarajevo with bad intentions. On June 28, 1914, Francis Ferdinand and his wife, Sophia, arrived in Sarajevo by train and were to make a trip to the city hall in an open car. You know, I always thought in this picture that Sophie was wearing some kind of weird dress that flared out at the bottom. That is actually the folded down top of the convertible in which the company would be riding in. Accompanying the convertible in the same car was Oskar Batjoric, Governor General of Bosnia. Lining the streets were hundreds, nay, thousands of Bosnians, all of them loyal subjects of the Austrian Empire. Not really. Many opposed the Austrian domination of Bosnia, and the 7 members of the Black Hand also filtered into the crowd at different points along the route and were prepared to do something about it. The first would-be assassin had a bomb. You know, the Acme Roadrunner versus Coyote kind of bomb, a ball packed with explosives with a fuse on top. And as the Archduke's car approached, he pulled the bomb out from his jacket. But before he could light the fuse, he saw a police officer and put the bomb back. The car continued towards City Hall. The second assassin had a pistol. As the Archduke's motorcade approached him, he pulled it from his jacket. But upon seeing another police officer, He chickened out and put the pistol back in his jacket. The car continued towards the city hall. The third assassin was Nedlejko Gabrinovich. He had a bomb and a good position to toss it. When the motorcade passed, he lit the fuse and threw it, then watched it bounce off of the folded down top of the Archduke's car and underneath the following car and explode, injuring 2 police officers and a number of bystanders. Gabrinovich jumped into the Miljaka River, but was quickly apprehended by police. As he was taken away, he was heard yelling, "I am a Serbian hero!" Yeah, better slow your roll there, Nedlejko. Sensing the trouble, the driver of Francis Ferdinand's car accelerated and continued on the route at high speed. 1914, that's like 30 miles an hour. The fourth assassin was Gavrilo Princip. He drew his pistol, but couldn't get a clear shot, so he put the pistol back in his jacket. He then went to a sandwich shop and got a sandwich. He must have been hungry. The fifth assailant had another bomb, again, an Acme Roadrunner versus Coyote style bomb. He had a clear shot of the Archduke, lit the device, rolled it into the street, and the bomb rolled under the car and continued to roll across the road into a storm drain where the fuse was extinguished. Assassins number 6 and 7 couldn't get clear shots of the Archduke either, and they also gave up. Upon their arrival at Sarajevo's city hall, Francis Ferdinand made a prepared speech. Then the decision was made to go to the hospital to visit those wounded in the bombing. An Austrian official suggested that the military be brought into the city to guard the route, but Governor Patjoric vetoed the plan, asking, "Do you think Sarajevo is full of assassins?" Well, no one had the huevos to stand up and state the obvious. Yeah, it was. They decided to go to the hospital by an alternate route, but the change in plans was not communicated to the entire motorcade. The driver of the Archduke's car followed the motorcade along the reverse of the route that they had taken to the city hall. The motorcade then turned down a side street, a route that took him past the sandwich shop that Gavrilo Princip had just ducked into. Just as the guy behind the counter was asking what kind of veggies he wanted on a sandwich, he heard the commotion and left the store. At the same time, Patjoric screamed at the driver to stop, that he was going the wrong way. As the driver was shifting in reverse, Princip ran out into the middle of the street, drew his pistol, and shot into the car, striking both Francis Ferdinand and Sophia. Ferdinand's last words were a call for his wife. "Sophie, Sophie, don't die. You must live for our children." She was already dead. Francis Ferdinand died 10 minutes later. Gavrilo Princip was quickly subdued. The Serbian government denied any involvement in the assassination, but when Austrian investigators looked at the scene, they kept finding things that were stamped with property of Serbian military. It was later discovered that the plan was organized by the chief of Serbian military intelligence, Dragutin Dimitrijevic, and his right-hand man, Major Vojislav Tankosic, who armed the assassins with bombs and pistols and trained them. After discussions with their ally, Germany, the Austrians sent an ultimatum to Serbia, giving them 48 hours to comply with 10 demands. Serbia, after discussions with their ally, Russia, complied with 2 of the demands, made a half-hearted attempt to comply with a couple of others, and politely rejected the rest. On July 28, 1914, Austria declared war on Serbia. Upholding its obligations to Serbia, the Russians mobilized against Austria. In support of its ally, Austria, Germany declared war on Russia, then attacked Russia's ally, France, going through neutral Belgium along the way. Britain then declared war on Germany, and by the middle of August, all the major powers of Europe were involved in World War I, a war that would eventually involve most of the world, bring down 4 dynasties, and leave 25 million people dead. All because some dude really needed a sandwich, really bad. Hey, check this out. How's this for rogue? Look at the license plate on the car that Franz Ferdinand was riding in when he was assassinated. Look closely. More closely. A111118. A111118. 1118. The armistice that ended the fighting in World War I was declared on Armistice Day, 11/11/18. World War I. Crazy, man. Rogue. Hey, I need to go get me a sandwich. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I want to thank my producer, Casey Moulton. I also want to thank Mr. Brent Allen for letting us use his studio here on the campus of Columbia High School. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Comment, like, and subscribe if you did. I had fun, but I won't quit my day job. And I hope to go rogue again with you real soon. Hey, pass this on to your friends on whatever platform you use. You know, whether it's Tinder or Facebook or Instagram. And when your friends ask, I'm Mark Haggard. I'm a history teacher, and I'm going rogue. Sonny, true love is the greatest thing in the world, except for a nice MLT, mutton, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. When the mutton is real nice and lean and the tomatoes ripe, they're so perky. I just love that. Have fun storming the castle.